Over the last 2 episodes, Billy Maddox and Chase Cunningham at Moorhead Motorsports have turned our C-Class Racer 400EX project from a bare bones, bare performance frame into an almost ready-to-ride machine. For this episode, after Billy and Chase add some finishing touches, we're off to Brookville, Indiana, home of RC Motorsports, where shop owner Ron Kersey helps us through some unexpected motor problems with our project, and then we take our C-Class 400EX Racer out to the track to put it to the test.
Welcome to Quad Builder. We're on our third day of working on this project. It's been a long road. Instead of just building the bike, we've restored the bike and added a lot of components. But since the last time you guys seen it, I went ahead and installed plastic, Laker custom, and went through the wiring and eliminated the headlight switch and the start button and all that. We went with the Suzuki RM dirt bike kill switch for a start button, which it's pretty simple to wire up. And then we went with the Tusk kill switch here, it's a tether cord, and got it all wired up and all the wiring's neat and sealed away now. And Chase here is going to let you know more about the graphics he's going to stick on it and the seat, things that we've done there.
What we got here, we got the hi-flite seat. As you can tell, it's a two-tone seat cover. Looks like it's got some really nice stitching in it. We also got the foam that goes with it. Kind of think we might ought to got a black seat cover, you know, just solid black to go with the theme on the bike. But this one looks really good. It's a really good looking bike. And here in a minute, we're going to stick on our Go For It graphics. We got a completely custom set of Go For It graphics. We're going to stick on these brand new Laker custom fenders. We're going to see how it looks.
This graphics here was for stock plastic, and since we got Laker, it's not going to fit the way we wanted to, so we're going to have to do some major trimming, as opposed to if this was stock, it should just flow right on there.
There we go. Alright, what we got here, we got our number plate backgrounds, which, Go For It, we went ahead and ordered them when we got our graphics kit. It's the Imperial graphics kit, and we got the number plate backgrounds to match. They got ATV scene on them, and we got our numbers on them. We're going to stick them right here on the back fenders.
We finished up this 400EX, got the plastic, everything on it, and then we got our new Go For It graphics, all our sponsor stickers, everyone that's been behind us on this project, try to give them a little promotion, and got a few little OEM parts we got to get to stick on it, a little grommet for the subframe that holds the rear fenders and stuff on, and we'll send this thing on up to RC Motorsports and let Ron Kersey finish with the carb. He's going to do some jetting to bring it in.
After having the carburetor jetted in, it was time to break in our machine. Much to our disappointment, on our first break-in run we pulled the same head stud that we'd helicoiled earlier. With our stock cylinder officially toast, we went to Magnum Distributing to find a solution, and RC Motorsports was there to help us install it.
Hi, I'm Ron from RC Motorsports. After phase 2 of the 400EX build at Moorhead Motorsports, we brought the ATV up here to our shop in Brookville, Indiana to add on some nice little goodies, some dress-up parts. We went through and we put some ASV F3 unbreakable levers on there. It is a 6061 forged aluminum lever. It's unbreakable, spring-loaded. It's got a cool little adjustment on it for the small hands to big hands. You can adjust her in and out here, a little turn of the Allen. They have a 3-year warranty on them. They are one step below their C5, which is their best 5-year warranty, but they do have a 3-year warranty on them, which is pretty good for a lever. And they do look good. We installed a Tusk shift lever, billet shift lever from Rocky Mountain ATV. Nice little dress-up part, little unbreakable tip. Making her look good. All right, we've had this machine up here for a while now, and we've had a little bit of cylinder trouble with studs. We ran through a heat cycle trying to get it broke in, and we keep pulling studs out of the cylinder, the stock cylinder. Common in older machines, I like to call it rotten aluminum. You know, it just won't hold it. So you're stuck with two options. We had to take the motor back apart. Choices are buy a new cylinder from Honda, bore it back out to the 426, get another piston kit, or go into the aftermarket world. So we chose to go into the aftermarket world here. I'm going to try a new product, see how it works out. It's a complete cylinder assembly. It's manufactured by Bronco Company, a sister company to Nmura with Nmura pistons. This one is at a 440 bore, 89 millimeter out of the box, so a little bit bigger than what we started with the 426, but we'll see how it goes. All right, here we are. We've got our cylinder and stuff. We got our parts laid out. The cylinder's pretty nice. It's a steel sleeve design, new aluminum, obviously. Supposedly substantially harder than the Yamaha or the Honda cylinder kits. Coming over to the piston, we chose to use the Nmura piston. Nice design, nice match. We went with the 89 millimeter 440 kit, obviously. Flat top 11-1 design. The piston is noted, you know, Nmura is noted for their hard anodized heat control topping on the top of the cylinder, or top of the piston. Got the Teflon skirts. They got their lubrication impregnated skirt. Helps control heat. It's a high silicone content piston. Controls heat expansion. You can set it up with tighter tolerances. You know, the one thing we need to mention with the kit, as nice as it is, it's supposed to be a bolt together. It wasn't a perfect match. The cylinder was a little bit tight. We had to actually cut a thousandths out of the cylinder to get the right piston clearance, and we did have to fit our ring gap. So if that's something that you're not capable of, you know, if you can't hone the cylinder out and get your clearances set properly, you would definitely need to take this kit to a local shop, you know, certified mechanic of some kind to help you out with this project. We're getting ready to start assembly. I do want to mention one thing that we did leave out. When you buy the cylinder kit, it comes with a complete top-end gasket set. It comes with all of your gaskets. The only thing missing out of there is the exhaust gaskets. But as far as any oil leak area, it's all in there. You shouldn't have to buy anything. Good to go. The piston kit obviously came with the rings. It was a complete kit, rings, pin, clips, all in assembly. So you buy the Nmura piston, buy the Bronco cylinder kit, pretty much got everything you need to assemble it, except for the studs, which you'll have to use out of your old cylinder. I usually start with the oil ring, about like anybody. Get the oil ring set up on here first. And move on to your top. Okay, well, we're getting ready to stick the piston on. Got the rings on the piston, got the wrist pin here. We've oiled everything up. You know, you always want to install the piston with oiled rings and never put it together with a dry wrist pin. So we got her all lubed up. Piston bosses are ready. Let's take her to the bike. We got the piston on the rod, and now we just got to install the circlip on the opposite side and get ready for the cylinder. We're good. Yeah, you definitely have to on this kit. Make sure the dowel pins will slide through the gasket. These will not, so we have to do a little bit of gasket trimming. Get to that here real quick, make the pins fit. I like to torque cylinders down in 3 different steps. That way you know you're pulling it down even. I always start at 15, work my way up through the system. Ultimately you will end at 33 on the 400EX motor. A little stiction on the dowel there. All right, well here we are. We're finally back to the phase that started this whole ordeal here. We're torquing the head down. Very crucial, make sure you use a torque wrench, not an impact gun. These are the studs that actually pulled out of the old cylinder. Got them in here, get them all drawn down snug, pull it down even. And then you want to make sure you get to your torque wrench. Always use a ratchet to do this. Don't use your impact gun. Not even on the new cylinder. We'll get her all pulled down here. We'll get the torque wrench out. Like I said, we'll torque this in 3 phases, just like we did the cylinder. Final will be about 33 foot-pounds. Well, we've got the cam starting to stick it in there. On the 400EX, the center support is non-bearing. Both ends have bearings on them, but the center just rides in the head. Make sure you always lubricate that. You don't want to put that together dry. Good way to ruin the head. The mentioned the gasket kit came complete. It pretty much is complete. We do need to reuse your stock cam cover gasket. Be careful not to damage it in the process of taking it apart. Well, we've got the Bronco cylinder, Nmura piston kit installed. Everything's tightened up, torqued, ready to go. All we got is the exhaust and the carburetor left, and we're going to fire it up.
We took our C-Class Racer 400EX to New Vienna Motorsports, located in New Vienna, Ohio, where we met up with Youth Production Senior Racer Ryan Wheeler, who put the machine through its paces. If we had had this machine to take to a race in the year 2000, we would have intimidated the hell out of our competition. Fully modified, our 400EX puts out around the same horsepower as a stock 450, although it can't build RPMs nearly as fast, which is why the air-cooled 400EX is no longer a viable option for a top-level racer. A strong point that the EX does have going for it is its excellent frame geometry. Many of today's high-performance 450s use a similar frame geometry to the 400EX, allowing EX riders to make their machines handle on par with a modern 450 machine. The +3 JD Performance A-arms and G-force axle we installed allowed us to huck our machine into corners with little braking consideration. The improved stability and dramatically increased cornering speed helped to minimize the effects of the machine's power deficit when hitting jumps right out of turns. The JD Performance plus 1 1/4 swing arm offered enhanced straight line stability on long, rough, high-speed straights. If the tracks you plan on racing at are wide open and high speed, the JD Performance swing arm is probably a good idea. However, if you're running shorter courses like those found in most indoor arenas or at the local fair, the additional weight and expense may be unnecessary. Any aftermarket shock works well when you downside a jump, but our PEP limited mass front shocks and revalved rear shock continue to impress us even when we flat landed. Both ends of the Baldwin Motorsports built PEP suspension worked well on large to medium-sized hits, and the front shocks did a good job of preventing unwanted front-end body roll. One area where the shocks weren't perfect were in rough, choppy sections. With our shocks set up for 250-pound test riders, even our largest heavyweights felt it was a bit harsh in accelerating and braking bumps, even with the preload compression and rebound set to full soft. But as we originally mentioned, the suspension works well for making up for rider error, so newbies will probably love these shocks, while vets may want them valved a bit softer. Another key element in our machine's suspension was its PEP steering stabilizer. The unit offers minimal adjustment, but it's affordable for riders on any budget. Our larger riders had no complaints with the unit, and everyone who rode it felt it did an acceptable job of reducing impacts felt through the handlebars. Although, smaller riders felt that it was a bit stiff through the corners. Although its dated engine design keeps it from being the star of the show, we wanted to extract as much horsepower from the 400EX as we could, while keeping its reliability as close to stock as possible. With a number of Baja wins under their belt, CT Racing was an obvious choice for this project. Due to the number of hours on our stock engine, a hot rods crank, barnett clutch and clutch basket, Nmura piston with Bronco cylinder, and webcam hard-faced rockers were used to give CT Racing a solid engine on which to build horsepower. With the addition of the complete CT Racing 440 National kit, our 400EX was now putting out just under 40 horsepower over a very wide, easy-to-use RPM range. The CT engine puts out enough horsepower for beginner-level racers to clear most jumps they'll be attempting. Although the 440 National kit puts out around the same horsepower as the stock 450, don't expect to go neck and neck in a drag race, as the EX's data design simply can't build RPMs as fast. The shorter your track start straightaway is, the better chance you'll come through the first turn with a decent starting position. While its slower revving nature may hurt you off the start, beginners and vets alike may find their lap times a bit more consistent late in the moto on the machine, as it's far less fatiguing to ride. The Duro Easy Trail rear tires and Leopard front tires lower the machine to the appropriate height. Under the hard-packed to intermediate conditions under which we tested, all of our test riders agreed that the Easy Trail rear tires could have used a bit more directional and forward traction. The Duro Leopard front tires seem to offer good braking and directional control under the same conditions. In addition to their economical price, during our 3 to 4 hours of testing, the tires seemed to suffer minimal wear and no signs of chunking, making them a viable option for beginner-level racers. Riders of all sizes were able to dial in the 400EX's ergonomics thanks to the Tusk handlebars and bar risers, hi-flite seat-to-seat foam, Performance Nerf bars, and ASV levers. If you have a bone stock 400EX in your garage and are thinking of undertaking this project, we'd probably tell you you're insane. But perhaps you're one of the tens of thousands of 400EX owners that already has a punch-down engine or has already upgraded your chassis and suspension. If so, you could use our project as a guideline to help you select the parts you need to finish off your 400EX to make it into a fun-to-race beginner-level machine. If you're looking to build a cross-country racer, you could use the stock A-arms and swing arm and a different set of wheels to achieve a heck of a woods racer as well. While the addition of new, faster machines to the market have seemingly slowed the pace of the 400EX, it hasn't detracted from its overall fun factor out on the motocross track.